As you decide, the race for South Carolina's 3rd Congressional District is on. It is now an open seat, so there are a lot of candidates. But this district covers a wide area and a lot of counties. It includes southern Greenville County, Oconee, Pickens, Anderson, Lawrence, Greenwood, and Abbeville, along with Newberry, Saluda, Edgefield, and McCormick. And one of the candidates running in the Republican primary for the 3rd Congressional District is Pastor Mark Burns. So, Mr. Burns, thank you so much for joining us. I'd like to start these interviews off the exact same way with each candidate. So my first question to you, Pastor, is why run for Congress?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. I think that one of my greatest passions is unification and unity. And right now, our nation is more divided than ever. And one of the things that has been pushed by the liberal Democrat Party are policies that are dividing our nation than bringing us together. The only colors that should matter are the colors of the red, the white, and the blue. I have a passion for bringing our nation together. And as a black Republican, America First Republican, and the only Trump-endorsed candidate in this race, I believe I stand in a unique position to deal with policies that are dividing us, like critical race theory and DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion policies that have been forced on the American people. You cannot defeat racism with racist policies. You have to defeat it with love and unity. And so that's one of my passions, is to eradicate that from American policies, and to allow those of us who are to succeed should be successful not by the color of our skin, but by the content of our character, as Dr. Martin Luther King stated. So my passion is to bring this nation together, eradicate diversity, equality, equity, equality policies, and critical race theories from American policy.
You mentioned you are and have been endorsed by the former President Donald Trump. You speak in his defense often, especially in defense of his faith. You often say that people aren't voting for the next pastor of the United States of America, but voting for the next president. So as a pastor, I ask you, what do you think that makes you the right candidate for the 3rd District?
Well, because just what you just said, Congress and congressmen, politicians have forgot why they are in those positions. You're in those positions to serve. I have 20 plus years of serving my community, not from what I can get out of it. Matter of fact, our motto in our church, the Harvest Faith Center, is that I've come to serve and not be served. Too many politicians get to Washington, D.C., and they forget the farmers of Pickens County. They forget the fentanyl that's been driven into our nation, and the homeless people, and even those that are wealthy. How can they become more wealthy? How can we serve everybody's needs despite of what condition that they may be in? Whether you're homeless, or whether you're a middle-class American, or you are a wealthy business owner, how can we serve you? The problem is a lot of politicians get to Washington, D.C., and they forget that one principle. We've come to serve and not be served.
I want to get to some more of these topics of today, but we do need to address some of the comments that you've made in the past. You've been awfully critical of the LGBTQ plus community. You said those who discuss LGBTQ and transgender topics with children are, quote, national security threats, and they want to destabilize the country. Do you still believe that?
Well, I think that the family, first of all, let me just say this. You're speaking about a particular interview on the Stu Peters show that they sliced up pretty good. But I am pretty critical of the LGBT community policies been pushed onto our children in the public school systems, right? I think that the Constitution allows you to love who you want to love. So if you choose to be gay, you have a right to be gay. And if society was trying to strip away their right to be gay, because the Constitution supports that, I would defend and fight for that. But the problem is we're pushing the homosexual, gay lifestyle, the transgender lifestyle, onto the public school systems and into our children in our society. That is a no-no. You shouldn't care. Listen, if they're going to push to remove prayer out the public schools, then they should be removing the cult, the transgender gay community out of the public school systems. They should eliminate all of it. But the problem is the federal government has too much control over our schools. We need to pull the federal control out of the power. We need to pull the power of the purse that's controlling our schools out of the hands of the federal government and put it back into the hands of the states, right? Until that happens, we will still lose control, and the federal government is pushing down agendas that are affecting our children right here in Pickens County, Greenville County, and Greenwood County, Anderson County, Abbeville County, Saluda County. These are happening right here in our own backyard. The fact that critical race theory and Black Lives Matter agenda has been pushed onto our public school systems, we got to eradicate all of it from the schools.
And you said in order to help eradicate some of that, you want to bring back the House Un-American Activities Committee. Many historians have called it one of the darkest chapters in American history. Do you still want to bring that committee back?
Well, I think let's be clear. We are losing the sovereignty of America. What has made America great again is that we had people who were loyal to America. Right now, we're seeing those who are entering our nation illegally, and they are burning American flags while waving foreign national flags on American soil. To me, I think that should be a problem. We're assembling to be just like the Roman Empire.
But to bring back that committee.
The WHOAC committee is what you're speaking about.
Yes,
we're
sir.
talking about having anybody that is doing anything that is that would seem treasonous to American sovereignty is a good thing. I think that anybody, I mean, again, that's how 9/11 took place. That's how the towers came down, right? That's how even now we're having spies that are entering our nation. It's over 75 people that are on the current terrorist watch list have entered inside, have been caught at the southern border.
But many have looked at that McCarthyism time saying that's one of the darkest chapters of American history.
Well, and so have people have looked at the racist policies of the Democratic Party. And it is still, to this day, affecting American society because there's not enough people speaking out against it. Listen, at the end of the day, the only colors that matter are the red, the white, and the blue of America. If you are an American citizen, and I am an America First candidate chosen by President Trump to replace the retiring Jeff Duncan, it's because President Trump's #1 focus is to have policies that are designed to equip and make life better and safer for American citizens. That means any foreign nationalist, anyone that is not an American should become secondary. And if you are an American citizen and you're coming against the policies of America, then you should be held accountable for that.
All right. Pastor Mark Burns, thank you so much for your
Great.
time.
Happy to be here.